and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the PiGosaur Cup. Welcome back to the PiGosaur Cup number 81, TLMC22 edition. I'm of course your side VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, welcome, one all. We are jumping into the semi-finals, or semi-finales, papi. Already, by the way, we have our best of 5, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of At Eternity's Edge, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player, the red Terran, the South Korean Terran himself. It is Percival. So let us go. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. As again, we delve into our initial best of 5. Bienvenidos. Again, once again, we did go live a little bit later here for PiGosaur Cup. That is something we've been doing as of late, is getting 1 hour extra sleep. Is beautiful. But we have been resting up a little bit more and going live a little bit later when it comes to live broadcasts of PiGosaur Cup, but we're here just in time for our fresh best of 5. We're here. Of course, last night we were live with the MSO. Likewise, GSL has been going on, and if you've been missing our coverage of GSL of the qualifiers, then we'll be rebroadcasting that on other platforms tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow in less than 24 hours, actually. Less than 24 hours. If you miss the GSL qualifiers, then we'll be able to showcase that on YouTube and Twitch. So we got you, man. We got you. Until then, welcome one all to At Eternity's Edge. Once again, this is one of the up and coming TLMC22 maps that you can soon vote on. When it comes to the map itself, it has 2 very different kind of trajectories when it comes to how you want to approach this game. We have the low ground expand here, bottom left, leading in towards the gold bases. Now, these low ground expansions are a little bit more exposed, a little bit more vulnerable, but if you can gain map control, you can take advantage of the gold expansion, which will give you a massive advantage here in TVP specifically. Otherwise, you can expand on the top side and you can take a more direct path across the map into a high yield gas geyser base in towards your opponent's side of the map itself. So we'll see how players will approach this. We'll see how aggressive Percival plans on being. That's what I'm most curious by. For now, racks expand into factory, single gas opener out of Percival, so again going for a more economic start initially, and likewise standard opener out of Creator as well. Now, first things first, it's great to see Creator. It's great to see him. As we mentioned before, Creator, he like pseudo retired, as he does catch out the Reaper, but Creator, he pseudo retired. Creator, he did not play in the GSL Season 1 qualifiers a couple of weeks ago. And if you remember, he showed up during the GSL photo shoots, and there was like a couple of brief words exchanged, and with the cameraman or with the interviewee, and he mentioned how he got a job. He got a job. He's working elsewhere, and he's no longer like fully dedicated to StarCraft like he once was. In saying that, that's why it's great to see him here. And also, he did play in the Season 2 qualifiers as well. Didn't make it into GSL, but did play in the qualifiers nonetheless. So it's great to see Creator still like dipping his toes in and out, even if he's not again like as dedicated, or again he's kind of reaching another phase in his life. His friends, he still has a lot of good friends in StarCraft, like ByuN, like Maru, and many others, and he's still, you know, willing to get involved. So we appreciate it. As here he does pick up a Marine, denying mining here on the low ground, does deny mining, and will get another Marine here. Ooh, barely not. So 1 Marine so far, denies some mining, does pull away. Behind this, getting to blink. How many gateways? So far we have 1 gateway on the high ground, a gateway on the low ground. So far we have our initial 2 gate setup, 2 gate blink, leading in towards a 3rd gateway in towards the mid game. So far a safe start here from Creator, safe play. Oh, the 7 stream, what stream, man? Yeah. That's not easy to achieve, by the way. It's not easy. Glasses, baby, glasses. Just because we cater to 2 different time zones. One is a little bit more European friendly, the other is more Americas friendly. So it's not easy keeping up with everything, back. Yeah. Let's go. As our Hellions do rotate, they poke out, and they will be intercepted. Ooh, 1 Hellion does fall. 2 of them do make it past. Back at home, we do have more or less a full wall here. Creator, he's safe. He's safe back at home, he's secure. Likewise, again, just playing it even safer, going for a battery in the main before expanding. And we should be expanding soon. Yep, there it is. 3rd base here on the low ground. Now again, I will say that Protoss players are more incentivized to expand on low ground just because of the gold expansion in PvT specifically. To claim that expansion, to snowball out of control, it's going to be on Percival to be more aggressive to stop that from happening. Pressure's on Percival. Hellions, they poke in, they confirm the location of the third, drop is deflected, and Percival back at home is still building up. He's building up his tank count, he is getting a second tank as we speak. Working towards the eBay, working towards +1. And we'll see how dedicated he's going to be on 2 bases. Again, it is, in my opinion, from like what we've seen so far on at Attorney's Edge, this is a very difficult map for Terran in the mid game, like in mid game and late game, specifically TVP, because of the access of these high yield bases, the high yield gold, and also the high yield gas geyser. I'm sure you're aware when it comes to mid to late game TVP, if the Protoss player gains momentum, gains map control, they take over the map, and there are bonuses to taking over the map, specifically on at Attorney's Edge. There's even more gases, even more minerals. We dive in. Ooh, blinks into the main, going for the tank. No, we'll go for Stim actually. Yeah, it does go for Stim and we'll get it. Stim is going to go down. One more volley. Ooh, does claim Stim. Blinks away. Massive pickoff. And Creator, he will slow down Percival. Oof. He'll slow him down. As you mentioned, as we were just talking about, actually, I was favoring, or I wanted Percival to be more aggressive, to be more assertive here, and to try to avoid a longer game. But now without Stim, he can't hit that timing, and we throw down a third CC. Third CC gets thrown down. Percival, he is trying to macro up. And any kind of timing he wants to go for, it's not there anymore. It's no longer there. So far, catching out 3 probes, not bad. Soldiers, they rotate towards the low ground, they get into the middle line, he gets in. Oh my god. Yeah, 2, 3 SCV kills, getting more damage, 9 more mining time. Percival was being pulled apart. Ooh, losing 8 SCVs. 1 tank shot goes off, and Creator blinks away. Creator, he does blink away. Ooh, does get intercepted. Nice movement here by Percival. Very nice. At the same time, Prison towards the main base as well. Creator being very active, very aggressive. Sniping Stim, sniping 8 SCVs, going back and forth and setting up for another counterattack as well. I do appreciate the pace that Creator is setting up. Bearing in mind that behind this, he's fully saturated on 3 bases. He's getting his Bay, getting his Forge, upgrades, attack, splash damage is on the horizon here. So far, so good for Creator. So far, so good. Likewise, Creator, he does spot the move out. He spots a 3rd CC. This should prompt Creator to get a 4th base. We should be seeing a 4th expansion momentarily, and we should see him looking to apply pressure at this location. Here it is. Prism into the main. There's a 4th Nexus. Prism moves in. A decent amount of dead space behind this, actually. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a decent amount. It jumps in. SCVs are going to be falling, and that's already, what, 3 SCVs? 4. He gets... Oh, no, my shot! Oh my god, forcing friendly fire. Okay. Creator, calm down. Very nice friendly fire. You can see him intentionally targeting down weakened SCVs. He does 1 shot, 7 SCV kills. Yo, Creator's having fun. Ay. Este Creator. Alright, now has he poked the bear? Has he poked the bear? Has he gone too far? Percival, he is gearing towards some drop play, but alas, he still doesn't really have much to work with. He's still stuck at home. Keeping supply here in the main. There is a Widow Mine. Percival applying pressure to the 4th base. And Creator, he's keeping up. He's keeping up. Now, I don't want to go too far yet for this series, but I'll be honest, when it comes to this game specifically, it's been some of the more active play that we've seen from Creator in quite some time. There is something that we did notice, and it happened to Eric. It happened to Percival as well, actually. It did happen to Percival when they announced their retirements, but like when that happened, like it's happened to Chance, infamously. True. Like Chance and Percival. I think those are the 2 big ones. Where they announced like their retirement, and then like it was like a weight was lifted off their shoulders, you know. It was like it was like suddenly there's like less pressure on you to like perform well and to like, you know, gain like greater heights and achieve better results and things of that nature, and actually allowed them to actually play better. That happened to Chance, happened to Percival. Curious as to see how Creator handles himself in this tournament, because so far, again, he's been very active, very aggressive. He's found a lot of damage. He's in a good position. The pressure is very much so on Percival here. Pressure is on. As Percival is claiming his 4th base, as he claims his 4th, Creator getting his 5th. Creator, he should soon be maxing out. Now, my assumption, if you recall, was that Creator would be expanding towards some of the high yield bases. He did not. He did not expand in that direction. They're still going to be available to him if he does gain map control, and he is gaining map control, but he's being a little more conservative with his bases, at least. That is true. He's being a little more reserved. Here comes a massive warp in. Creator, he's basically maxed. And it is now go time. Now, I do like the SimCity here. You know, you got depots, turrets, sensor towers. The tanks are on their own, though. The army should be in front of the tanks. They're exposed. And Creator, okay, taking it slow. Takes it slow, gets out of range of the tanks, pushing into the mineral line, breaks down that front door. Oh, nice armor shred. Very nice armor shred. Creator, he has to back up. There's so many Vikings. 8 Vikings here for Percival. Gets one. Gets one Colossus, and Creator, he has to retreat. He has to retreat. Again, that was a brutal armor shred. And Percival's holding. He's holding on. He's holding on. He's holding. He's defending. Behind this, we have a second robo on the way into disruptors. Yep, there we go. Disruptor reduction's already begun. Building up to the Novas. What's important though is that again, Percival didn't take too many losses here, and he's able to max out himself. So we have a comparable army. We have a comparable force. Percival, he's being active, which is a bold move, but he does have the supply to do this. So he's being active. He's going to be rotating, and we'll see if he can keep up with Creator. Yep, there we go. He throws down a wall of cannons. Again, Creator's army is very immobile, and Creator is lacking map vision. So trying to defend these fringe bases is going to be quite difficult for Creator. So he needs that side defense to buy time, to give him time to respond, and to recall. Percival, he checks for the gold. He's checking for the gold expansion. He's securing his 4 bases. Behind the Dark Strand is on the way. Stargate as well. We're going to be here for a while as we're working towards now Vikings, Liberators. I will say that Percival, he's perfecting his army. Ideally, you do want to get into a heavy tank, Liberator, Viking, Ghost composition, and he's almost there. He's almost there. You could argue maybe too many Vikings, but it's going to fare well because Creator's trying to work towards Sky Toss. Fleet Beacons on the way, Stargate as well. Percival moves in. Again, the lack of map control for Creator it's brutal. Typically, the Protoss does have it. That's not the case in this game. There's go off. Ooh, we got some decent connections. Yeah, decent connections. Colossus. Oh no, bit of a misrally. Prism goes down. Colossus pushes too far in. And Percival, he does push. He does break through. He does break through the army. Getting on top of the Nexus. Nexus does fall. Percival pushing further in. He's moving further in here. And again, Creator lacking the expansions, lacking the map control. He's going to lose everything here. Every Colossus. Oh no. One of them barely gets away. And barely pulls back. More drill play, more harassments. 13 probe kills. Crazy damage. And any kind of control that Creator had in this game, it's been going for quite some time. It's been going. Basically, the momentum swung in favor of Percival when Creator took the fight here. When we saw the armor shred, when Creator lost to Colossus, when it was forced back, that's when Creator raced back home and he just relinquished control of the entire map. Was relinquished. Now it is firmly in favor of Percival. This rarely happens in TVP, but the Terran player has map control. And Creator is in trouble as a result of that. Creator trying to build up his Tempest, but he's not really in a position to do this. Yeah, he cannot fight. Notice they graze the army. You can see Liberators just bully the ground army. Just bullying. Vikings, they push forward. Oh no, another missed rally. Missed rally's in. And honestly, Percival, yeah, he can fight this. He can fight this. He has to respect it over there. Oh my god. Never connects. Never does connect. That's how many of those 4 ghosts going down. Oh. Liberator falls. And Creator, we're going for the base trade. Okay, doesn't respond. Doesn't respond. He's got a couple of defensive DTs, and we'll see when Percival does recognize that. Yeah, no scan yet. Creator, he commits. We're trading bases. There's a scan. Yeah, there's a scan. More DTs warping in as well. Getting as much value as possible. Liberation has arrived defensively back at home. Vikings as well. Gets a Tempest. Gets one. Yeah, takes out one of the Tempests. There's 2 Tempests left. Army does reposition. There's another scan. Once again, DTs, they dealt a lot of damage. Oof, Archon's getting caught out, and another Colossus falls, and the Tempest as well, and he gets it. Yeah, takes out every Tempest, every Colossus. Now just a ground army diving into liberation zones. Vikings, they can land, and Creator, he should lose everything here. He should lose everything. Once again, trying to blink in. Heavy losses for Creator. Bleeding out all the Stalkers. And this is all we have left. 3 Stalkers and 2 Immortals. Ay, ay, ay. Percival, we can chase. He can give chase. They're catching at the Immortals. They cannot get away. There are more Stalker reinforcements, but nah, GG. GG gets called with that Percival. He will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Percival takes the lead in the series, and again, Creator, he played it well. Like, he played the early and the mid game well. Like, if you recall, when he was, you know, harassing bases, taking his own expansions, punishing and denying blink, sorry, punishing and denying stim, I meant to say. There were a couple of really strong moments there for Creator. That is true. But as we mentioned, Creator, he did relinquish map control completely when he took that rough fight at the 3rd location of Percival. He just completely abandoned the map, just raced back home, turtled up defensively, and just relinquished everything. It allowed Percival to be active, to rotate back and forth, to rotate unscouted as well, as Creator had a very hard time keeping up with the army movement of Percival, and then GG. GG, well played with that Percival. He does take a lead in the series, and we're loading into game number 2. Let's go. We're loading into game 2. Game 2 is going to be on, I believe, lockdown. Yes. Game 2 is going to be on lockdown. Let's go. Meanwhile, looks like the upper semis has already begun. Looks like Cham, he took down Nikodek 2-0. He's up against ByuN in the upper semis. So best of luck to ByuN and Cham as they're facing off in the upper brackets. We have our own best of 5, of course. Depending on the length of these series, we might be able to catch a little bit of ByuN versus Cham in the upper bracket. Otherwise, we'll just go straight semis into finals. As we are loading into lockdown. And spawning in the top right hand corner of lockdown, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. Oh, down in the series. We'll see if you can bounce back. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Green Terran leading the series 1-0. It is Percival. So let us go. So we're getting into our second game here, and welcome one all to Lockdown. Lockdown is another one of our TLMC22 maps. Lockdown has a unique kind of map layout here. So we have our high ground natural. So we have a higher ground main. True, we have the higher ground main, we have the high ground natural, we have the lower ground. There's basically 4 planes of elevation, of course. A lot of layers here to Lockdown. You have a very secure 2-base setup. When it comes to your 3rd location here, also relatively secure. There are 2 options, right? You can expand here on the low ground on the right hand side towards your opponent, or you can initially expand away from them here on the high ground, which is safer. There's also these towers that you can destroy. You can knock down these towers and fully wall this area off as well to turtle on up, to limit attack paths and limit rotations from your opponent, and get your 3 base set up nice and secure. Now, what is most interesting about this map is that you can take this third and then push forward and expand here on the high ground and claim your 4th base. Now, I was very tentative when it came to rating this map, just because I was concerned that it would be too easy to take your third, push forward with your army and with your bases, claim your 4th base, and then bam, you're already across the map. Right, your 4th expansion pushes you past or to the halfway mark, pushing across the map into the bases of your opponents, and you can use this as a launch pad, as a high ground launch pad into your opponent's bases. But it all depends on how our players expand, to be fair, right? It's like if your opponent's also going in the same trajectory, also expanding away from you, if you will, and on the high ground, then yeah, it leads into a very interesting game state. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. I want to see. Show us what you got. For now, double gas. Percival does mix it up. Double gas opener this time into a faster factory, into a 1-1 setup, into a delayed CC. Last game we saw Reaper Hellion opener in towards Raven play, in towards Raven harass with the Widowmine defensively. Again, Percival had a shakier early game last time. We'll see if he can tighten things up. Oh, as creator's going for a Stargate opener. Okay. As the creator. Does go for the Stargate. With this, you can get Oracle first into Phoenixes, and we'll see if Percival can scout. It does. Ooh, is going to be denied entrance into the main. Again, it's because it's higher ground main base, there's double layers to get up into it. It's a double cliff face. So with that Percival, he is denied, and we're going straight Phoenix. Okay, no Oracle first. Does not open Oracle first. Percival going for his own drop. So it is going to be the initial, more tech-heavy start into Widowmine drop. Just 2 Widowmines, not 3. Spinning out, safety cycling behind this, and we'll see if Creator can keep up. Bearing in mind, of course, that Creator has not revealed himself yet. Reapers, they dive in. He sees, he knows. Yeah, he does spot the Phoenixes. Despite that, it's too late to turn around. We commit into the mineral line, and we shouldn't get much done. Oh my god, Jesus. Yeah, a little bit chaotic, a little bit messy there. But Creator, he shuts us down. Nice defense, and from here we're going old school, going Phoenix Colossus. There's a robo follow-up into the bay, into Colossus production most likely. This is an older school style that was very trendy for a time, but the reason why this fell out of favor, fell out of fashion, is because aggression can shut this down quite hard. Speaking of, yeah, we're building up and going to Reactive Viking production, Reactive Vikings tank production as well. Percival's building up his forces, and can Percival try to punish, and can he get across the map and try to break Creator before we get into the Bay and Colossus production? A high ground shield battery, Bay is on the way as we speak. Percival, he wants to push, that's why he's making so many Vikings. Phoenixes, they do hit the mineral line, they get a couple of SVs, but now there's less energy, and here comes the push. And here comes Percival. As you mentioned, he wants to try to kill Creator before Colossus. Oh, nice, very nice interception. He knows that the Phoenixes are on the top side. And, oh no, he could have, he does! He gets one! Yeah, does get a lock on. Zones away the army. And what is the defend? Okay, we have 1 immortal. The sentry is going to be crucial here. Force fields. There are force fields. Adapts. Do you have a ground army? Colossal production has begun, and have we missed our window? Yeah, you can see he was hoping to catch the Phoenixes in the end. The Observer has eyes on this. And Percival turns around. He turns around, he will miss his timing. I do think they could apply pressure to the third, at least. These Vikings are going to bleed back. The third base is getting up on the high grounds. Percival still being active. But now there's already a Colossus. Like, I don't think Percival can pull this off anymore. Not anymore. Yeah, the Colossus now on the high ground. There's not much anti-air. True. Only 2 Stalkers. Yeah, catching at a Phoenix. Towers that get shelled away at. Percival gonna knock this down, and that means he can just keep pushing up into the high ground. Okay. So essentially he's ensuring he doesn't get flanked. He will not get flanked, he fully walls off. Pushing to the high ground. Phoenix goes down. Oh. Shout to the battery. Jesus. Yeah, the battery does go ham. The lift from behind though. He lifts, the Colossus still goes down, and we can focus on these Phoenixes. The tanks they drop, but there's no buffer. There's no buffer, there's no support. Tanks are going down one after the other. Massive pickups here by Creator. And Percival, he lost too much. He lost far too much. He lost all of his tanks. Sorry, there's 1 tank on the high ground. There's 1 tank left. So let's push Creator back. Percival, he's holding. He's holding on. That's what I'm diving in. We're diving in the army here. The tank is exposed, the tank goes down, and with that, Creator is snowballing out of control, just punishing the aggression of Percival. As we mentioned previously, he misses window. He misses window, he misses timing. In the end, Percival, he is punished. 3rd base is fully up, and Percival is stuck on 2 bases. Stuck in the main. The one thing keeping Creator back is lack of charge. If charge was done, Creator, he can just push up the ramp and just commit. Percival, he is hurting. And this is desperate, so we need to get some damage done across the map. He's going for his own double drop into the main. This has potential. Creator is already racing back home, but the drop does get in. It gets into the main, forcing the recall. So far, I mean, a decent move here by Percival, getting 5 workers, delaying blink, depowering some of the production, and setting up his 3rd. Percival is still behind, he's still in the right position, but it's finding some damage. Does find something. Black Westerns across the map. He's trading well. Like, these are nice little wins here for Percival, and he needs them. Like, one after the other. Can he get the expansion? No shot. He can! The 4th base! The 4th base goes down. That should not have happened. Again, Creator, he was very late to react and very late to respond. And Creator now in trouble. One of the Colossus goes down, going for the other. Ay. Tanks are sieging, and Percival is breaking through. He's breaking through the main army. Massive tank shots. Stalkers, they cannot get away, but we're coming in from behind. And Creator, he should barely hold. No, never mind. He can't get in. No, he cannot get in. I assumed he was going to be able to get on top of the tanks, but no, he's denied. And with that, Percival just snowballs out of control. A very strong fight. Creator fighting with half his army, then fighting with the other half. Creator, he was split. And again, Creator, he was in such a good position, but out of position too many times. Lack of vision, lack of scouting. Once again, massive tank shots going up. The boys are being pulled. Desperation here by Creator. And Creator, he's barely holding on. He holds, baby, he holds. But heavy losses. Losing the Colossus, the Prism, Immortal, the 4th expansion, more importantly. True. Oh. Nice target finding the other Percival. Toss focus on the Stalkers. Once again, still has the high ground as well. Creator is trying to brute force his way in, and he will be able to. He's doing it. We're getting messy. We're getting very messy. But Creator, he commits. There's 1 rotor left. He wants it. He gets it. Oh my god, the final rotor goes down. And with that creator, he breaks through that main army. Oh, heavy losses towards the end. Oh, the juggling. Oh my god. Clutch juggling, papi. And creator's pretty all in. Like creator, he needs to kill. He needs to end the game, and he doesn't. He doesn't end the game. The all in fails, and Percival, he will take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. A very, very messy game here. Again, creator initially, he was in control. He shut down the push. He was able to defend his third base. He had the better economy. He had the larger army. We spoke about how brutal Percival's position was after the failed early game aggression, but he was able to pull off the drop play. He was able to distract creator more importantly, and as you tried to point out, he was able to force creator to fight with half his army multiple times, right? Creator, who was only fighting with a portion of his army, so he was taking worse fights, worse trades. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Getting into game 2. Oh, let's go. So game 3. We're getting into game 3. And with that, we're going to be loading into BlackRock. Oh good, oh good. So creator, he's asking for a bit. It's all good. So creator, he needs a little bit of time here. Understandable. As we're getting ready for BlackRock in the third game. And again, creator, he once again, it's actually very similar to game 1. Game 1, creator, he had the stronger early to mid game. He had a lead, and then he ended up losing that lead. Here it's quite similar in game 2, where creator had a stronger start, but he was lacking map vision and map awareness, and he was just pulled apart by the drop play, right? And that allowed Percival to get a foothold to get back into the game itself. Likewise, then able to commit across the map unscouted. Creator, he was unprepared. He only had half his army, or even like a third of his army even. And yeah, just some really brutal positions there. Despite being in a better position initially, did lose those leads, both in game 1 and in game 2. We'll see if creator can get a handle on himself and a handle on this series coming into game 3 and try to bring it all back. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll have our next game. We'll have game 3. So see you soon in a couple of minutes. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you had a lovely break. Hope you enjoyed the brutal OC as we returned here with the semifinals. We're jumping to game number 3 and spawning in the bottom hand corner of Blackrock. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself. Also from South Korea, it is Creator. And my heart goes out to Creator here as well. Sorry, I have to fix this up. As Creator is Zhao02 here in the series. And again, Creator, he was ahead. He was in a stronger position in both games, but did end up losing those leads. One of the reasons why we had a break here was Creator. He needed a moment to calm down as well. Like, he was even expressing himself in the chat, talking about how he was like up 40 supply and how he was getting complacent because he was ahead, and how he can't believe that he lost that game and all this stuff. And Percival, he was explaining as well, like, yeah, like, I was dead, like, I just did what I could, like, taking a risk, taking a chance, like, knowing that, like, hey, if I don't do this, I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna lose anyway. So like that's why he was going for drop play. That's why he was moving out, and being as aggressive as he could be. So, you know, Percival he was trying to be understanding with Creator, but yeah, Creator was it's some rough losses for sure. Some rough losses. Of course, Creator is known for being a more emotional player, like, you know, wearing his heart on his sleeve, more so than others, of course. And yeah, it's been a rough series. And we'll see if he can bring it back. We'll see if Percival will close it out. For now, we are going for our initial openers here. It is going to be the initial gate expand into Cyber Core, standard open out to Creator, likewise economic start out of Percival as well. But much love to Creator. Much love. No breaking this. Don't be a clown, baby. Don't be a clown. Like, Creator, he can take a lot of losses to hearts for sure. We got a lot of love for Creator here. That's the Creator. A lot of compassion, I should say. As from here, we're getting into our 1-1-1. We're getting into our 1-1-1 follow-ups. So far, so good. Likewise, you have our take-up choice this time. Twilight Council, not Stargate out of Creator. It's going to be opening up. And from here, we'll see where he goes. Remember, last game was a Stargate opener into Phoenixes. With that, we saw attempted Phoenix Colossus, and I mean, he got there. Like, in the end, Creator got away with it. That's why he was in such a better position last game. This time, let's go. Yeah, after a really rough game 1 and game 2, after losing those advantages and losing those leads, we're going for the Dark Shrine. Going for Dark Templar. Why not, baby? Why not? Now, we've spoken about this before. This is very high risk, high reward, and this can instantly cause a GG. We've seen Clem insta GG. We've seen ByuN insta GG. The goal here, of course, is to send in Dark Templar and hope, pray, just cross your fingers here that 2 things are happening. That 1, Percival doesn't open up with a Tech Lab switch into Raven, so there's no Raven follow-up, and likewise 2, that Percival mules. That he mules at just the wrong moment, or the right moment for him, where he mules too quickly, he does not have energy for a scan, and then DTs go in, they wreak havoc, and again, they can cause insta GGs. Happens at the highest level of play. We'll see if we can pull this off. But now Percival dropping across the map. Does go for the drop. Back at home, there's a Stalker, there's an Adept, there's a couple of units to defend. Does react. Good, he reacts. Here comes the Dark Templar, they're warping in. Behind this, there is no Tech Lab on the Starport. Medevac into Liberator. So no Tech Lab, no Raven. And DCs are pushing forward. And we have 1 scan so far on the low ground. You know, 1 scan at the natural. He's not muling. Yeah, he's not muling, so he will hold on to the scan. There he is! He finds the first DT. He's going to shut it down. At the same time, 5 probe kills across the map. Despite that, damage is still being done here, as there's no low ground defense. Okay. So scan didn't kill the DT. That's going to be 7 SCV kills. And remember, that was the only scan. Oh, that was the only scan. So DT slowly breaking through. I'd like to see the DT swipe away the tech lab instead. Regardless, mining is being denied. This is critical damage here. Scan takes out one Dark Templar. There's still one more. Remember, there's no eBay. DT's into the main. And this is getting out of hand. At the same time, though, oh my god, the pro damage. What, 16? Oh no, the Liberator goes ham. 8 kills here at the natural. This should not have happened. Like, the DTs are doing amazing damage, but unfortunately across the map, the drop play is doing equivalent, if not greater damage across the map. You have a defensive DT. Likewise, more Dark Templar into the main. Percival forced to pick up. He's still dropping across the map. Oh god. Oh no, he abandons his bases, papi. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, and Creator, he's at 27. Yeah, he still has 27 workers. Oh no, the turret goes down. Massive pickoff. Oof. Again, there's no scan. Drops into the bases, but there's defensive DTs. We just don't have the scans for both, for aggression and defense. Ah, yeah, the DT survives. The Dark Templar survives. Defends back at home as well, and with that, Creator is looking to make a series out of this. It worked in the end. It was messy. It was very, very messy, and we could have had a cleaner defense here, but the drop play from Percival, it did get out of hand. There's the Rico back home. I believe killed the natural. Stalker goes down. And Percival is down to one base. He's down to one base mining, only 14 SCVs. And yeah, we're just playing the game. We're just let him play, baby, let him play. He's just microing his side out with the one drop. We have a second medevac drop moving out across the map. Again, by no means should this ever break through the main army. No shot. We got the Archon, we got the Immortal on the way, we got the battery behind us as well. Marines, they step in. There's the NG overcharge. Oh, the Archon's out of position. Oh, the Prism goes down. But the Archon, yeah, the Archon should hold its own. Oh, massive Archon shots. GG gets called, and we have a series. We have a back and forth. We're getting to game number 4. GG. Whew. GG, well played. After hearing that Percival just kind of threw caution to the wind and took a massive risk and a big gamba in game 2, Creator did the same thing, went for DTs, and it didn't cause an insta GG, but it was the game-winning move. Did do crippling economic damage across the map. Things were very messy because Percival was also able to set up his Liberator and get a drop play or drop going as well, and was able to do almost equivalent damage across the map as well. So things got very messy and very shaky, but in the end, Creator, he was able to hold on, able to minimize losses, defensive DTs. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into game number 4. Going to be loading into Rainfall here. I don't expect to see I don't expect to see Dark Templars as an opener again. But at this point, I feel like Creator, he's again, he's kind of like, you know, thrown off the weighted clothing, if you will. He's I feel like at this point, he's unrestrained. He's unbound. Show us the proxy. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Rainfall, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran leading the series 2-1 and 1 game away from claiming this best of 5. It is Percival. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss, sorry, the red Protoss. The red Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss. It is Creator. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm picking up planetary as well.
So I was just checking on the other upper semis. Looks like they're in game 2. Okay, they're in game 2. So there's a chance we might be able to cover both semis. We could do so. could do so. As it is going to be Percival's turn to move out and to go for the eBay block. Okay, welcome to Rainfall, by the way. Rainfall is another one of our TLMC22 maps. Rainfall, we do have some changes made already, by the way. The Rainfall is less heavy than what it once was. We did have like massive water puddles all over the place in the first edition. Has all been cleaned up just to make it a little bit easier on the eyes and less weird. Like there were some like graphical complications, if you recall, like some weird effects that were going on. We've gotten rid of all that. To get rid of it. Oh. Meanwhile, here comes the eBay block. Creator does scout this early on so he can pull the boys and deny said block. Let's go. Does deny. Full force against. Oh my god. Here we go. The SCV goes down. eBay is cancelled. And Creator can now expand. If there was too much progression on this eBay, then it would have forced a person would have forced Creator to expand at the third location instead, and would have led to a really awkward game state, especially on Rainfall. We didn't get to mention it, but Rainfall has a very short rush distance by ground, has very exposed bases. Hyper aggression is favored here at the third locations, at both third locations really, and the area in between the bases as well. So you can be hyper aggressive here on this map on Rainfall, and it can be difficult to defend. So thankfully, Creator, he takes his natural. Speaking of difficulties to defend, it is going to be a Marauder opener into Concussive Shell, and I'm curious to see a second and third racks. Do we go for a 3-rack stim timing here from Percival? I do like the idea of that here on Rainfall. And yep, there it is, second rack. So it is going to be 3 racks. Again, it's one of the common follow-ups after a Marauder opener. So Marauder, Concussive Shell, second, third rack, stim, combat shields, mass bio, of course, and a very strong stim timing is coming. So hyper aggression out of Percival. There's that third racks, as we mentioned, and back at home, it's going to be on Creator to slow this down. Oh, Stargate? Oh god, no. Is this a build on a loss? So Stargate opener out of Creator. Obviously, he has no idea what Percival's doing, and Percival, he has no idea what Creator's doing. Stargate openers, I would say, are usually safer on larger maps. To see them here on Rainfall is very risky. The reasoning for this, if you recall, is because the initial Stargate, I mean, it doesn't really have much defensively. It's ideal against drop play, right? Against Banshee-based openers, against drops themselves. But when it comes to all-ins, when it comes to heavy sim timings, what are you going to do? Lift up one Marine at a time? Oracles and Phoenixes are both very fragile units. It means that your ground army is going to be weaker as a result of that, and you are vulnerable to all-ins. Percival, he pokes out. This is just, he's just poking. He's poking, prodding, seeing what's going on. Going for the pylon. Pylon takes a lot of hits. And so far, nice control by Percival. Slowly trying to gain ground. Yeah, the battery's running out of energy. The initial adapter is going to fall. There's the Oracle. Used to defend. And now he knows. Now he knows about the Stargate. He knows, but he takes out the adept. He wants the pylon. He wants the mineral line even. Gets one. And gets one probe. Takes down 2 adepts. And Percival should be feeling good about this. Oh, he's going for a 4-axe as well. Oh my god, it's just a 2-base all-in. 3 axes, you can macro out of it, but no, 4-axe, 2-base all-in. 2-base all-in here. Percival, he may even pull the boys. He may pull the boys with this as well. Hyper aggression out of Percival. But he needs a little bit more time to build up his army. Yeah, Stim isn't done. Stim is not complete. Nice pick up here of 3 Marines. Percival is racing back home. Stim is done in 2 seconds. And he doesn't want to waste it. He does not want to waste. 4 SCVs go down. The Creator, he scouts everything in the main base. He knows. And back at home, we need batteries. So far, he's got 1 battery in the low ground. He's getting a safety immortal as well. We need those immortals. The Oracle does poke in. And here comes Percival. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing for Percival. Did they remove the heavy rain on this map, or was that everyone? They did remove the heavy rain. I mean, it's still raining, and you can hear the sound effects, but they made it less intense. They made it as we pull the boys, but they made it less intense just because it was. I mean, there were like some weird graphical issues, if you remember. Like it was just looking kind of weird. It was kind of like obscuring the map. So they toned it down. That's maybe a better way of putting it. They toned down the rain. But here we go. The battery's still on the way. Boys are being pulled. And can Percival break through? Can he get on top of the Immortal? It doesn't look like he can. It's going to be close here, down to 2 Zealots. The Immortal, oh, he overextends. Yeah, does overextend. Immortal goes down. A massive pickoff. But with the help of the Oracle here, Creator, he's holding. Yeah, Creator, he's holding on. Just barely. Percival was completely all in. That was everything he had. That's all he had, and we're looking to force the ace match. We're going all the way. And again, I don't blame Percival for pulling the boys. Unfortunately, he got scouted, and he got slowed down as well. Right? He was losing Marines. Losing units before the all-in hit. And now you have the Colossus on the way. And because the 4 ranks and pulling the boys, I mean, Percival, there's no follow-up, right? There's no follow-up here. There's no real way out of this. We're taking gases. We're getting to our own starport. Percival is making what he can, doing what he can. There's a chance where he can maybe bypass the army, slip into a mineral line, and deal economic damage. Like, there is a slim chance of that working. Especially because Creator's in the center of the map. So Creator's out of position. And this is a world where Percival, he can slip in. Oh no, gets the center. Oh, the stasis! No! He stims in! Yeah, stims into the stasis. So Creator, he's activated, he's moving in. He does push forward. Doesn't commit into the natural though. Turns back around. Likewise, the Colossus is ready. Cashing out more of Percival. Percival, he's committing across the map. Again, he's built up a semblance of an army, and he can achieve a decent fight with this, but once again, there are more stasis traps. We do have now 2 Colossus. Sorry, 3! Oof. Yeah, 3 Colossi. Percival, he cannot win a head-on engagement. The ideal for Percival is to catch Creator just like last time, like out of position, and catch him like a couple units at a time. If he can engage like half of a Creator's army, then he can pull it off. Percival rotating over to his right hand side. Creator's in position. Percival does try to sim in, but Creator, he's ready. Yeah, he's ready. Cleans up the drop. Army sims in. And Creator, he does hold the line. Yeah, he does hold the line. Annihilates the Marines. Gets some of the Marauders as well. Percival claiming his own 3rd TC. Let's. But now here comes a counterattack, right? Here comes a counterattack. We have more Phoenixes. Disruptor production has begun. Creator, he should have more than enough. Assuming there's a War Prism with this? No. Never mind. Yeah, no War Prism. Just lack of prism, lack of reinforcements. Creator is stuck at home. This is still a very uncomfortable game. Like, Creator, he has been ahead for the past couple of minutes. That is true. He's been in a better position, but Percival, at the same time, like, he has still potential with this army. He has some potential. Creator being cheeky. Percival still looking for a way in. Once again, they're trying to get on top of the Colossus. It's going to be it's a tough ask. No. The Stalker count isn't too high, so you could argue maybe the Vikings can get a good angle, but I mean, they're Phoenixes. Vikings are on patrol. Notice they stay in. Once again, he has to respect the Colossus. Oof. Yeah, some brutal swipes going off. Phoenixes are tanking the Vikings. They're tanking. And Creator's overwhelming. He's just overwhelming the army and cleans up the bio forces. Plenty of Stalkers to support. Never goes up. Oof. Catching Marauders. And we just keep pushing. Like Creator, we don't have to calm down. We just keep going. Keep going. And diving forward, getting some Liberators. We'll lose some Colossus, that is true, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. He has plenty on the ground, plenty of Stalkers, Disruptors, Archons. Creator he can commit. Nova's going off, diving on the final units here, and with that, we're just overwhelming. GG gets called. Creator, he will take it, he will tie the series. We're going to the ace match. GG. Whew, and GG, well played. Again, we saw Percival be hyper aggressive, hyper sort of going to a 4x 2 base all in. He pulled the boys, but remember, Creator scouted. Creator, he was able to scout, he was able to slow it down. He caught some Marines, he caught Marauders early on in the game as well. That slowed down the all in and also gave Creator time to build up to respond with Immortals, with shield batteries, with Warpins, with that defense. GG. GG, well played. Now we're getting into game number 5, the ace match. We made it. We made it all the way to the ace match here. It all ends here. It all ends on Defender's Lab. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Defender's Lab, we have the South Korean Terran player. The South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. Oh, the blue Terran being forced into a tied series, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Percival. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss. Oh, forcing the ace match, bringing us back all the way to game number 5. He has momentum. It is Creator. He's locked in. He's locked in. Let's go. Let us go. As we are going to be opening our welcome to the Defender's Lab. Defender's Lab is one of the more defensive maps in the map pool. A little bit more. It is more defensive. It is typically more geared towards the mid game, if you will, and we'll see if we can get there. We have been seeing some aggressive tendencies out of both players recently. Game number 3, we had a Creator going to DTs. Game number 4, we had Percival going for the 2 base all in. But now we should be calming down. We should be calming down from all the chaos, from all the nonsense, and just settling into our mid game. That should be the plan here. And so far, a single gas opener out of Percival. He's leaning towards that. Leaning towards more standard play. And then we'll see if Creator can bring it back. I'm sure he's won 2 games, but they've been more chaotic. If you recall, I spoke about game 1 and game 2, how Creator, he was ahead in both games, but he lost his lead. We'll see if he can actually like tighten up and have a cleaner game overall. Or if Percival can bring it back. Can he bring it back? So now we're going to be opening up. So far, Percival just scouting here at his third location, making sure there's no proxies, moving out. So when it comes to the main features of the map itself, we do have our speed zones in the center. We have our rocks, our steam vents as well. This does typically favor rotations in the mid to late game, and also we have defensive setups here to make sure you have your initial secure 4 bases in the mid game as well. So yeah, some interesting features. Personally, I really do enjoy kind of like the layout that we have in the center of the map itself, referring to the speed zones and referring to the rocks as well. Does make for a more dynamic mid game, assuming we get there. For now, something we have not seen this series so far: Robo Opener. Interesting. Robo Opener into 2 extra gateways early on. Oh, we're being hyper aggressive here. So typically when I see a Robo Opener, I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be Robo into a bay into Fast Colossus. But because of the extra gateways being thrown down, we can actually go for an earlier Warp Prism and go for an earlier push. An earlier aggression with like an Eps, for example. So there is aggressive potential here for Creator earlier on. We'll see what he goes for. Now getting safety observers. There's the bay for Colossus, as you mentioned. But I'm curious to see if he plans on being aggressive early before the Colossus. Opening up Colossus like this is typically very safe. It's very, very safe. It allows you to secure yourself. The downside, of course, is you have no charge, you have no blink, you have no phoenixes. It is more difficult to keep up with drop play, and it's also difficult to gain map control and to catch medevacs and to harass across the map. Aside from Warp Prism play. But I don't see a Warp Prism. Yeah, no Warp Prism, just going for the Forge, being hyper defensive. If Percival can realize what's going on, he can actually try to take advantage of this himself. Can take advantage. And cut corners and be greedier. Mindro comes in. And so far, Hellion does get into the middle line. No shots going up. Very nice defense. Yeah, the Observer's already in position. Water Mines go down, and no losses here for Creator. Now, Percival, he is aware. He's aware of the Observer. He's aware of detection, aware of the Robo. Oh, that much he is. Back at home, researching Interference Matrix. I'm curious if he plans on this finishing. This is very rare. This was only ever done back in the day when up against Robo Openers themselves to shut down Colossus. Curious. It's a rare upgrade nowadays in this matchup, but it's very fitting as to what Creator's up to. And now single Raven. Do we let finish? Yeah, okay, he does finish. Este, Percival. Very old school. So if you remember, this is actually one of the reasons why the upgrade was added to the game. Previously, you did not need to research Interference Matrix. It was just available just on the base Raven. And it was very common to go for these big 2-base all-ins where you push it across the map, you have 2 Ravens, and you disable the Colossus. You disable the Colossus, and then you just send it across the map and you just end the game. Because that was so prevalent, that is why they gated the upgrade, or they gated the ability behind an upgrade. Because it's so prevalent in TVP. And again, it works wonders specifically against this build, against what Creator's going for. Does confirm the Colossus. And Percival getting ready for his push. Now, can he disable both Colossus and break the third? I don't know if he has enough to pull this off, to be honest. But maybe. Okay. For a moment there, I thought he'd pull the boys. But no, he's just claiming his third. Army setting up. Again, he's outside of the expansion. He's moving in. He does move and goes to the armor shred instead. Shreds the armor. Tank boy is going off. Decent connection here with the Colossus. Decent connection. But that also means that Interference Matrix is not going to be a factor in this. Does not factor in. Drops into the main. He will lose the drop. Percival is throwing away too much. He's throwing away quite a lot here, as he's committing into the bases. But, I mean, Creator, he's fine. So his batteries, takes down the Viking, cleans up the army. We're fighting out of range of the tanks. Yeah, Percival is falling apart here. He does get a tank onto the high ground. But now we have Blink. Oh no! Careful. Yeah, nice concave, collapsing on top of the army. Does focus on the Marauders. Gets 1, 2, gets all 3. Yeah, takes down all 3 Marauders. And again, it's just tanks. Like, that's all there really is here. They're naked. They're exposed. He's trying to push forward. Here we go with her range. Marauders, they find some damage. Fair enough. Now we commit. Now we dive in, and once again, the goal here is the tanks. And he gets 1, he gets 1, 2, he's going to get 3 tanks. Massive pickups. Getting all 4. Yeah, all 4 tanks go down. As I mentioned, like, this army, there was just nothing there. There was no meat to the army here for Percival. And he will lose everything. It did feel premature. It felt like we were just pushing with too little. The tank count was solid, but there was nothing with the tanks. That's where Disable comes in, right? That's where you can go in, you can disable the Colossus and try to get your tanks within the range of the expansion. But the Raven went down early. Disables never came into play. Never factored in. And Creator takes a massive lead. Takes a massive lead. From here he's on 4 bases. He's now diversifying his splash damage, working towards Storm. Oh, he's got the Temple Archives. Let's go with the Archives. He has at least Archon production available. And from here, our players are building up. I mean, the soup is lying to you in the sense that the Creator, he's working on that +3, he's getting Storm on the way, Charge on the way as well. Creator, he's kind of rounding out his army. Percival on the flip side, he's turtling up. He's just turtling up back at home. And he can maybe get up into Liberators. I mean, he's got 2 so far, but build up into... never mind, he's got 5. Jesus. Okay, prioritizes libs. The downside here is that he does sacrifice any kind of early ghost production, but it was a Colossus base opener, so it's fine. So he's got his tank Liberator into delayed ghosts. Meanwhile, Creator himself is already working on the Stargate into Tempest, into Skytoss. So we're slowing the game down after a very intense early game. After Percival's aggression failed, we're just calming things down, taking up. I will say the Creator's being very passive. I do think the Creator could have been a little more assertive here and fought for map control and focus on warp-ins, but instead he's happy to just relinquish map control, throw down static defense, and just build up into the late game. This is allowing Percival to expand. Whereas typically, Creator, he'd be out on the map to fight for the expansions, right? To delay the 4th base. But that is not happening. Percival is freely expanding. That is concerning. It means that any momentum the Creator had previously, it's gone. He's losing said momentum. You see here setting up 3 Stargates and a Fleet Beacon. Working towards Tempest and Skytoss. Again, I'm still not too fond of this style that Creator's been doing. We saw this earlier in the series as well, where Creator, he is maxed out, but he's not really being active with the army. He's staying at home, right? He's just throwing down cannons, shield batteries, and is keeping his 2 armies at home. He's not really posturing or threading the bases of Percival or poking in or trying to cash out any drop play, like actively on the map. It's a much more passive style, and it's the reason why Percival had a comeback earlier. Catching at the drop. Let's catch a drop. Fusion core is on the way for limited range. Now, as Creator takes to the skies and as he embraces Mass Tempest, that is where Percival is going to need a more heavier Viking count. Currently, he doesn't know, but he is at least setting up all the starports. He's getting up to 4, I believe. 3. Getting up to 3 starports. And still slowly taking more bases. Emphasis on slowly. Like, I would want to see Creator be more aggressive with the expansions and be more aggressive with his army to get away with it. That's we're slowly building up. First one finally moving in. Does with the army. Again, this is only half the army of Creator. EMP lands. Yeah, it does land the EMPs. Creator, he responds with the other half. There's a window of time here where Percival can push in. And Creator, he's almost here. Yeah, he's almost here. Storm zones. Creator here rides with everything else. Vikings, they catch out a Colossus. Sorry, they get a Tempest. Catching into Tempest. There's still 5 more where that came from. Yeah, Tempest, they push forward. They force back Percival. Percival's making 6 Vikings at a time. And he's getting a second Ghost Academy for more nukes. The nukes are coming. Going into mass nuke. We're embracing the late game. Currently, I do favor Percival coming into this late game. I do like Creator's army a little bit better with the Mass Tempest, but I don't like that we don't have the fringe bases. Top left and bottom right have yet to be taken. In this kind of game state, the Protoss player needs to be up in bases. If they need more expansions, they need those fringe bases. If they don't have them, then I'm concerned that they'll ever claim them. Nuke into the mineral line. See Creator searching for the ghost. Oh. No observer, no observer. No, he could have committed. He could have committed. Observers now have arrived. Nuke is cancelled. Percival is pleasantly surprised. He just scouted bottom right. He just confirms top left as well. There's no bases. He's like, oh, okay, sure. You have no expansions. You're making use of the healing zones. Sorry, speed zones, I meant to say. Because we can rotate that much faster. Tanks are setting up. Vikings are hunting. Once again, going for the nuke. This time gets caught. Percival coming in from behind. Okay, he can flank the army. Still looking for a way in. I do like this out of Percival, pushing to the center. And make use of those speed zones. Once again, Creator's army is split. Army moves in. Oh, storm the zone. Creator, he's responding. Creator's racing over. Meanwhile, one Tempest goes down. Gets Tempest, gets a Colossus. Gets 2 Tempests even. Yeah, 2 Tempests fall. The Oracle and the Colossus. Massive Eagles here for Percival. Catch it. Oh no, the move command. Yeah, rough rotation there from Creator. Again, he raced over to defend. Rough army movement. Now it's pushing into Siege zones. Yeah, into the Liberators, into the tanks. Oof. Storms are decent. Oh no, the Tempest. Yeah, Tempest overextending. Losing 2 Tempests down to 1. 1 Tempest left. So it'll be down to 0. Yeah, he gets caught. He gets caught out. He overextends. That Tempest should get sniped. Oh. I say that. See Percival running out of steam a little bit here. It does run out. So there we go. Does move in. Takes down both Colossus and the Tempest. Takes control of the skies. And Percival can just keep pushing. He has broken the expansion. Creator, he does have a bank. He's trying to rebuild. A very nice storm. Does land a storm. Creator moving in. Percival, he's out of position. Yeah, cashing out 1, cashing out 2 tanks. Oof. Creator, he commits into up the ramp, into the planetary, and there aren't enough tanks. Yeah, there's not really much of a siege line here. We need more Liberators. We're getting messy. Yeah, we're getting messy, we're getting chaotic. We need to set up. There we go. Liberation zones are thrown down. Oh. Percival does land AMPs. Cashing out Stalkers as well. No storm. Uh oh. Yeah, there is no storm. Nice, they pop off. High Templar go down. Creator taking a bad fight. A bad trade. And again, Creator is very limited when it comes to his economy. Yes, he does have a bank, but he doesn't have many bases. Creator is slowly working through that bank. Oh, has created his build up to, is that 6? 7. 7 Tempest. It's a lot of Tempest. Nice Archon shots. Oh, Stalkers, they go for the dive. They go for the dive on top of the Liberators. They will siege up. Vikings, they push forward. So far getting 1, getting 2. There's still 4 Tempests left. Oh my god, the Planetary is holding. Ah, no. Apparently not. Planetary goes down. Mass EMPs, the Mass Stalker. It looks like it might be enough. Yeah, the Mass Stalkers. They break through the ghost, getting us over the final tank. It's still a very messy fight here, and Creator will lose everything in the process. Oof. Nuke across the map. GG. Creator, he will lose his army, he loses bases as well, and Percival, he will claim the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played again. Very chaotic, very messy play there as Creator. He was committed. He pushed into the bases. He had no economy behind it. As you mentioned, Creator, he was so adverse to expanding. His the fringe bases that were never taken. They were never taken. But again, Creator, he never fought for map control either. Like Creator, he was very, very passive here, and Percival took full advantage of that. Time and time again, Percival was able to take better fights because Creator had to pre-split his army because he had no map vision. So he was just out of position time and time again. So some really rough fights there. He did commit towards the end. He was just all in, and he could not kill. He barely could not kill Percival. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, Percival, he will claim the series. He will advance on to the grand finals, and we have our 2 finalists here. It's going to be a best of 5 between Percival and ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. GG, well played. Again, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. You can see here the bracket has been progressing, and we have our conclusion. We have our final. So ByuN, he took down Chufka, took down Teardrop 2-0, 2-0, took down Sham 3-1. That was the upper semis. Now we have ByuN versus Percival in a TVT best of 5 grand finals. Let's go. For now, I'm going to be cutting to a very short break. I'm going to be cutting to a short break, and when we come back, we'll have next series, we'll have our next matchup. We'll have our grand finals. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon in a couple of moments. Predictions. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals. Those grand finales here of the PiGosaur Cup. PiGosaur Cup number 81. TLMC22 edition, your weekly dose of PiGosaur action. We're here in the grand finals. We have a best of 5 ready for you, a TVT, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Defender's Lab, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the red Terran player. Also from South Korea, it is Percival. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions will now be open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, ByuN is the favorite player. That is true. He has had more accolades. He's a higher tier, higher caliber player in many ways. But Percival has had a better record. Percival, he's had a better winning record over ByuN over the past couple of months. It's been impressive to see the growth of Percival over time throughout the course of the past year, and specifically over the past 2-3 months, he has beaten ByuN more and more often. To the point where I still want to say that ByuN is favored, but now it's like a little bit more like 60-40, 50-50 sort of thing, where Percival, he has proven himself, of course, to be able to be on the level of ByuN, specifically in TVT, as he's been beating players like ByuN, Bunny, and Cure on a more regular basis. So very impressive, of course, very intense, very high octane, very aggressive is typically Percival's style. Likewise, so is ByuN. For now, double gas opener, double gas out of ByuN, double gas out of Percival, going for faster factories, building up a no more tech-heavy start. And welcome one and all to Defender's Lab. Defender's Lab is one of the more standard maps of the map pool. I mean, hey, we just saw it in the last game, going in towards the mid game, into the mid to late game even. Sorry, I shouldn't mischaracterize that. It was the late game between Creator and Percival. And we might get there here as well. I say we might get there because TVT is hyper aggressive. TVT is hyper aggressive. Very rarely do you get to the late game in TVT. Very often we have a lot of early to mid game aggression. It is common stance amongst all mirror matchups, to be fair. And we'll see if we can embrace a longer game here. For now, I'm going to be opening up. See, chat, him and Shameless have been progressing a lot in last year. For sure. It's one of those things where I would say that Percival and Shameless, they have both been on the rise for a while, but specifically specifically this year, 2026, it feels like they've kind of like broken a barrier, and now the gap between Shameless, Percival, and like the top of the top is smaller than what it once was. Like that gap has been shortened for sure. So it has been great to see. If you remember, who did Percival beat for the GSO qualifiers? He beat Solar, right? He beat Solar in the GSO qualifiers. He took down Cure and ByuN in recent Open Cups as well. For Shameless, he beat Hero, ByuN, and Classic in Monday Night Weekly last week. Like they've both been crazy. As now we did open up Reaper Hellion. So Reaper Hellion out of ByuN. Percival, he is going for the earlier Cyclone, but before that Cyclone pops down, Percival, he is vulnerable. Yeah, he is vulnerable. Hellions, they dive in. They do take down one of the Reapers and a Marine as well. Yeah, they're trying to overwhelm. Decent spread here, decent split out of Percival, denying splash damage. And he's holding. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Nice control. He survives until the Cyclone, and Percival, he has a very impressive defense here. Again, the splits were on point, ensuring that he did not take extra splash damage, and Percival holds. Does hold on. So he is starting to move out. Does move out, does counterattack. Back at home, we do see ByuN making his own defensive second Cyclone. He already has his first. ByuN has the tools to defend, but we'll see if we can get in position. We shall see. As the drop is moving in. The drop moves in. Lock-on is broken, but ByuN should defend. He will defend. So back the army. Final Marine goes down. At the same time, Hellion Reaper into the mineral line. We'll get one SCV. Maybe two? Nah, just one. Just the one SCV. So nothing major here. When the dust settles, you see Percival does have a slight worker advantage. When you see Percival rotate to the low ground, it looks like he wants to bait out that Cyclone. He gets a couple hits in, pulls away. Pulls away, third CC on location. A greedy maneuver here from Percival, bearing in mind that ByuN is getting his third CC in the main. Safer move here by ByuN, and Percival can get away with it if he can keep the pressure up, right? So far he's been containing ByuN. It's been aggression here from Percival, keeping ByuN busy back at home. If he can keep that up, then Percival can get away with this, otherwise he might get punished. Let's get into the main base to reveal the third CC. So Percival, he knows there's no crazy 2-base all in, like 2-port 2-base play. Percival now moving out. And does move out. Headed towards the main. Does head towards the main. Likewise, Cyclone's in position. Again, Percival, he's not here to do damage. We should emphasize that. He's not here to do damage. He's here to keep ByuN busy so that Percival can get away with this. And so far, it's working. He's getting away with the CC on location. Mining is already commencing. Percival is ahead. And ByuN is still on 2 bases. Right? He still has yet to expand. Percival now moving out. And I don't think Percival should try to push into this, by the way. Just trying to meet the army. No, he's committing. He's going for it. Yeah, he thinks about going for the dive. Does rotate towards left-hand side, getting in position to deny the third. Tanks are moving in. Both players have disables. Tanks do siege. Yeah, Percival is playing with fire, dropping into the main. Percival just maintaining this position. He wants a tank. He wants it. It's a big investment. It's a big investment. He does not get the tank. That was 3 auto turrets. Ay, ay, ay. Likewise, drop of the main base was cleaned up. Percival, he was distracted. Yeah, some messy moves by Percival. Messy. Now he has less energy. Now he just lost his drop. And now ByuN expands. Yeah, now ByuN expands. Percival, he needs to be very careful here. ByuN has 3 Ravens, full of energy. ByuN can disable everything. He can disable every single tank. Percival, he needs to make sure he zones away those Ravens. They pull further back. And Percival, thankfully, backs off. Oh my god. If he sticks around too long, he will lose everything. He wants to keep going. He wants to keep going. ByuN likewise keeping up. Again, this is very risky play here out of Percival. It's fine as long as he keeps ByuN busy, but again, he cannot take a fight. ByuN's aware. ByuN now claims his own third. Percival getting a faster 4th CC. Again, Percival's had a slightly better economy the entire game, but now it's time for ByuN to move out. It's ByuN's turn. ByuN is pushing. Never mind. It's also posturing. Scans, they'll see the double drop. Waiting for reinforcements. ByuN, he has 3 Ravens, so he's up a Raven. He's, I believe, up in tanks. Even. Okay, even on tanks. Down in Vikings, of course. As ByuN is going right down mid. No, he finds a way in. He gets to the ramp. He gets to the ramp as well. Massive move here by ByuN. He's on top of the ramp. He does siege in between the bases. Massive stables as well. Stables 1. And I think ByuN has outpositioned. He's outpositioned Percival. Stepping into the mineral line. We need auto turrets. Boys are being pulled. The SCVs are going down. And ByuN has control of the natural. Again, with these siege tanks, this army here cannot reinforce. Like, Percival cannot help his natural base. Oh, we're dropping. Oh my god. The moves. Drops all the tanks. Very nice moves here, forcing friendly fire. And Percival defends. Wow, Percival, he will defend even here, once again forcing friendly fire. ByuN killing his own tanks. That was 6 tanks being thrown away, by the way. And Percival didn't lose any. Percival, he retained every single tank, and now he can counterattack. Percival has a massive lead. ByuN, desperation counterattack. He's going for the drop. He wants Percival to turn around. The goal here, the hope, is that Percival pushes, ByuN drops, and then Percival, he F2s back home. Like that, that's the hope here. As the drop is moving in. Vikings, they respond. There's already a tank in position. Yeah, there's already a tank. Percival still knocking down those rocks. Armor shredding the army. Shreds the armor. I mean, this does delay Percival, that is true, but he's still pushing. He has to be careful. Ooh. Yeah, tanks are sieged. Remember, ByuN, he's down to 2 ravens. ByuN does drop on the right hand side. Once again, ByuN wants to delay the push. He wants to delay Percival because ByuN doesn't really have much to defend. But he gets caught down. No, this is one. Losing 2 full Wintermax go down. Massive pickups down to go time. Now this is it. Send it, Pappy. Send it. Now's the time. As ByuN, he's in trouble. The army does him in. Nice armor shred. Armor shred goes off. It does land the entire missile. Percival, he's so close to getting to all the bases. So close to moving in. Does siege, and I think is no, not within range. Barely not within range. ByuN rotates to the left. Ooh, drop into the main. Bold move. He's crazy. Let's go for the drop. ByuN is keeping up. Percival, he should not commit here. Ooh, he does. Yeah, it does commit into the main. Percival, he will lose this army. Yeah, this was not the play to go for. He will lose every single marine. Heavy losses for Percival. Very inefficient fights. Liberators have arrived though. And Percival, he can afford to throw away some units, but he's going to be careful. He needs to be careful here. Once again, taking down another tank. Two tanks are down. There's an opening now into the third. And Percival, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's now within range. Third base is denied. SCVs are going down. ByuN is being bullied. Once again, ByuN cannot fight the main army. So as a result, he just counterattacks. ByuN just counterattacks. He wants Percival to turn around. So we're just going for the base trade. We're threatening a base trade, I should say. ByuN trying to catch the army. Percival does actually turn everything around, by the way, which means he's abandoning his tanks. Oh no, it worked. Yeah, it did work here. So every single tank is going to go down. I mean, Percival does trade, but he will lose a hefty amount of tanks here. So basically, Percival, he was afraid of a counterattack from ByuN, which is fair. Like, ByuN was faking a counterattack, so Percival, he raced back home with his army, left his tanks, and he lost everything. He lost all the tanks. Still killed 21 SCVs. ByuN is pushing. And in a longer game, ByuN, he's behind, right? He's down in workers, down in economy. Oh no! Gets a free Liberator. Gets a Liberator, we'll lose a Raven. Percival gets across the map. Ooh, it's an orbital, not a planetary. Oh no! Ah, miscontrol. Yeah, miscontrol there by ByuN. Losing so many SCVs. The CC as well. Massive pickup. And Percival still in control. Can he deny +3? Nah. Going for the middle line. A trades. Messy fight. As Percival keeps dropping, distracting ByuN this time. Percival's main army does break out. ByuN is somewhat aware. Oh, as ByuN has an overwhelming marine count. Yeah, tanks are exposed. Tanks are exposed. Percival overextends. He's gonna lose 1, 2, 3 tanks. 3 tanks are free. He's gonna lose everything. Yeah, he's gonna lose everything here. Percival, late reaction, late response. Percival, he does miscontrol. Heavy losses for Percival. That should not have happened. Drop back into the main. He's move commanding. Yeah, he's move commanding as well. He's panicking. No, Percival. He's panicking, Pappy. Oh my god, still takes a bit of fight though. Still is holding on. Calm down, Percival. Calm down. No. And again, in a longer game, if the game can last a little bit longer, yeah, GG gets called. I was going to say that Percival's in a better position, and Percival, he'll take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Percival does take a lead in this series. A very chaotic back and forth here between both ByuN and Percival. I will say that Percival overall, he was able to be greedier. He was able to get a faster third, a faster fourth base, able to gain a better economy, and of course able to eventually catch ByuN out of position. There were a couple of strong moments for both players, of course. I'll say that ByuN had a couple of nice moves when it came to like faking move outs and faking army movements and catching Percival with his pants down, but he was so far behind to begin with, right? He had already lost a base, he already lost an expansion, he needed more than that. It was good moves there by ByuN, but not enough. Not enough to recover from his earlier losses. GG, well played, and with that, Percival takes a 1-0 lead in the series. From here, we're loading into game number 2, going to be loading into Lockdown. We're jumping in. Sorry. So fixing up the score. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom head corner of Lockdown, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is a ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran leading the series 1-0. It is Percival. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome to Lockdown. Lockdown is going to be an interesting map, especially coming into the mid game. Very, very interesting, just because of all the points of elevation. This will impact TVT quite heavily, especially with all the choke points, the speed zones, the terrain itself. It will lead to a very interesting kind of game state here. Curious to see if we can embrace said mid game. Go. But again, it was initially ByuN who had outpositioned Percival. I'm referring to the moment when ByuN pushed into the natural. If you remember, he like sieged up 6 tanks outside of the natural. The Marines rushed in, and Percival, he had to pull the boys. He lost a bunch of SCVs. He was in a rough position. And then what did Percival do? He dropped on top of the tanks, right? The tanks were on their own. He traded very efficiently, and that meant that Percival had a 6-tank lead over his opponent. Like, that's insane. And that led into him counterattacking, and everything snowballing from there. So we had that back and forth. And now we're getting into game number 2. So I'm here with calming down so far. Standard openers. Standard openers just racks expand from both players. Last game we did see ByuN go for a heavier Hellion Reaper composition. We saw that Percival, he was able to defend beautifully, getting into earlier cyclones and survived until that point. We'll see how our players do diverge, whether they go into the same style once again or something different. Already we do have our factory on the way. Oh, Reaper gets called out. Yeah, nice catch. Percival, he'll bleed out 1 Reaper already. Massive pickoff. Does lose the Reaper. But ByuN behind this, it looks like he's not going Hellion. He's already making Marines. So he's stopping with Reaper production. We have our add-ons on the way. Ooh, rushing into a very fast RTC. Wait, did he see this? ByuN, looking at his vision, he did not. Ooh, big moment here for Percival. Hyper greed, hyper greed, just cutting a bunch of corners, going for a 3rd CZ. Meanwhile, ByuN going for his own 1-1-1. So ByuN is going to be the aggressor, Percival is going to be the defender. What's important though is that ByuN doesn't know. That's the most important thing here, is that ByuN, he did not see the command center, so he doesn't know how greedy Percival was being. As ByuN needs to be aggressive, he needs to punish. Pressure's on ByuN. I've seen the YouTube channel. Rise doesn't have a larger audience. Got some big names. Oh, thank you. We appreciate it. In a sense. There's a lot of competition when it comes to StarCraft viewership. There's a lot of channels out there, and especially because like we're relatively new. Like we started casting full time like during the COVID era of StarCraft, but it's you know, it's harder to kind of break into the scene. But Spread the word, Babby. Spread the word. And so now we are moving out. ByuN going for his own counter drop. Percival, he will miss this, by the way. It does miss the drop. ByuN now scouts the third CC. He knows. He's now aware of the greed. Getting into the mineral line. Catching out 1, 2, up to 3. Just 2 so far. There we go. 3 SCV kills. Nice damage. From here he can pick up and pull away. And there's no anti-air. There's no anti-air. There's no cyclones, no marines, no Vikings. ByuN does pull away. And he knows to keep being aggressive. So here comes the Liberator. ByuN rotates to the right hand side. Rotates over. Catching out 3 SCVs. Liberated into the main. Once again, more damage being dealt, and Percival's just being pulled apart. He just cannot keep up. He can't keep up. 7 more SCV kills. Ay. Dropping back in. Oh, ByuN overextending a little bit. We're gonna calm down. But 8 SCVs, and with that, ByuN, he now takes a worker lead, and he has a comparable timing with the third CC. Comparable. As he's morphing in his own orbital. Percival, he failed to defend. He's now desperate for damage, moving out with Mass Hellion. And on another map, then maybe this could work, but remember, specifically on Lockdown, we have a high ground expansion. We have that ramp, and we have the siege line. So Hellions, they cannot move in, and drop once again behind the mineral line, catching up 5 SCVs. 6. 5. 5 SCV kills. In the end, ByuN will lose everything here. He'll throw away the drop, but it's been more than worth it. Has been more than worth it. Crippling the economy. Now ByuN can break out. And tank the siege. And ByuN expands. And what was supposed to be a more economic start for Percival has now become a stronger economic start for ByuN. As he was able to deal that counter damage. Setting up the third. Percival does at least snipe a Cyclone. We're at 4 tanks. Oh no! Oof! Yeah, massive tank shots. ByuN has the tank lead, he has the economic lead as well. He's opting not to go for a main push, he's opting to go for a drop play instead. Going for the drops, and he'll find more damage. They're disrupting the production. Can he get a Raven? Oh no, he gets one! Oh, he does take down a Raven, massive pickup, gets into the mineral line as well, and Percival's just being torn apart. A second Raven goes down. Ay. Yeah, 2 Ravens, GG gets called, game-ending damage, and ByuN, he will tab the series 1-1. We have a back and forth. GG. Whew, and GG, well played. ByuN, he does fight back. Winding it back here again, Percival, he was the greedier player. He was being very, very greedy. He was cutting a bunch of corners, and he was hoping that ByuN would either be more passive or that Percival would be able to keep up with the aggression, but he wasn't able to. He was not able to. ByuN going for the early Cyclone drop, going for the Liberator Harass as well. ByuN was hyper aggressive, and ByuN tore Percival apart. What was supposed to be an economic start ended up falling behind for Percival. Percival fell behind economically, losing far too many SCVs, could not keep up with the drop play, or just had a hard time keeping up with the drops themselves, had limited anti-air, and did invest into the Mass Hellion, but specifically on Lockdown, it's less effective. The defensive position is just stronger on Lockdown, so the Hellion dive into the natural was just not possible. So he didn't achieve anything with the Mass Hellion, he just fell further behind. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3. Bearing in mind, though, this is a best of 5. It's a best of 5. It is the grand final, of course, of the PiGosaur Cup, so we have a greater series ahead of us. More games, more matches. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of At Attorney's Edge, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner. Bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player. The red Terran player himself, the South Korean Terran. It is Percival. Going for the proxy 2 racks. Let's go. Let us go. We have both SCVs being sent across the map. We are setting up here. We're committing into the proxy. Let's go. Let us go. So much regression from so many Russians for the last year or so. Seamus, Yakov, Nick Rat, Machine, Arts, and probably others. I mean, yeah, for sure. When it comes to even players outside of said region, there are some others, of course, that have been excelling. Like, I'm thinking about Minizerg. I'm thinking about Minizerg UA, who's been looking very impressive specifically this year when it comes to his rise in skill and rise in standing. I think that was like the most shocking, especially in the OSC Elite Rising Star number 18, I want to say. I think it was 18, where he did make it all the way to the top 3. Which was crazy. That was crazy. As mentioned, Percival is the other big one as well, of course. Esther Percival. I think a lot of people are taking note of Trigger, but Trigger's a lot older in the sense that Trigger, his rise was like from like 2021, I want to say 2021. So it's been a longer time coming. No, yeah, I think I would say Trigger alongside them as well, actually. Yeah. Because even though Trigger, he debuted like in 2020, 2021, I mean, so did like Gigi Machine and Young Yakov. Like, they also kind of like started competing more seriously during the COVID era of StarCraft. Did you? That's Percival does look her way in. Again, so far I did go for the proxy 2 racks Reaper. With this, we did have a faster factory. The Hellions on the way. We just have to buy time for the Hellion. Yeah, ByuN has to buy some time. Bleeding out 1, 2, 3 SCVs, taking a lot of losses here, but a miscontrol of ByuN does not pull away in time. And this is okay damage, but oh, can we force a cancel? Yo, can he force a cancel? The Hellion's coming. It's out. Yeah, the Hellion has arrived, but the CC's low. Does force a cancellation. Not bad, and now Percival can expand. Percival's already transitioning back at home. He's floating back. Nice cancellation. Oof. Once again, delays the CC. Bullies back the army. And again, ByuN has a very messy control already. He's losing too many SCVs. ByuN will defend. But can he counterattack? Heli shot. Ooh, one volley goes off. Just the one. Yeah, Percival has to get the hell out of here. Does have to pull away. Back at home, Cyclone Productions on the horizon. Ideally working towards Cyclones and Macfield Accelerators. Percival doubles back around. But the defenses back at home are limited. Yeah, they're very limited here. Percival's racing back home. ByuN is moving in. Jumping into the main. Going for the mineral line. Delaying the CC. Oof. And this can get a hand. It can get out of hand here. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5 SCV kills. Percival does go back in. Losing a 6th SCV. Yeah, losing too many. Losing far too many workers here. 7, 8, 9, 10 SCV kills. Crazy damage. And Percival still has to get his CC up and running. The Raxus is still floating back home. Behind this, ByuN, he'll have a faster command center. Better economy. Oof. And Percival, he falls behind. Does fall behind. Now, there is going to be a window in time where Percival has a faster second Cyclone. He's going to have 2 Cyclones and, of course, a faster medevac as well. There is some micro potential here where he can maybe pick off some key units and out-trade his opponents. But as time goes on, now ByuN has his own defensive Cyclone. It feels a bit too late. Locking on the medevac. We're diving on the Cyclone. Can he get it? Ooh, clutch save. Yeah, clutch save does pull out. But ByuN freely expands. Does claim his expansion. Percival gonna be zoned away and gets caught out. Losing both Cyclones, and the Medevac as well. So heavy losses once again for Percival, just falling further behind. Now he has nothing to really threaten ByuN. And the pressure's on Percival to find some damage here. Either go for a 2-base all-in, go for some drop play, find some damage, catch ByuN out of position. There are ways to recover in TBT, but things are looking much more comfortable here for ByuN. Oof. Much more comfortable. Catching out 3 more CVs. ByuN is pushing. This Percival does drop. Does go for his own counter drop, liberated into the main base. Okay, damage is being done. But ByuN commits. He just goes in. There's nothing. There's 2 Marines. There's 2 Marines to defend. Oh no. Yeah, Percival's going for the base trade. The Hail Mary play. Moves out across the map. The wall is breaking. There is going to be 1 tank on the high ground. True. If he can get behind the production. Oof. Takes 1 tank shot to the face. Drop across the map gets cleaned up. GG gets called, and ByuN, he defends, he attacks, and ByuN takes a lead in the series 2-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ByuN, he is now 1 game away from claiming the series. Again, winding it back, the initial proxy didn't work too well here for Percival, going for the proxy 2-racks. With that, he fell far behind as he failed to do critical damage. I mean, the damage was okay, but he was also zoned away, right? He was able to get a couple of SCVs. He did force a cancel on the CC. The damage wasn't too bad, but he was zoned away, and ByuN just raced across. He raced across the map instead. Let's go. So here we go. We're going to be jumping into our next game. Going to be jumping into Sanctuary. Let's go. Okay, we almost left Pig behind. Oh good, oh good. All good. Alright, as we are loading into game number 4, going to be loading into Sanctuary 3. We did make sure that we load into the updated version of the map, of course. We have our slow zones in the center, a couple of changes to the rocks as well. That's good. Feels like going Reapers with ByuN is like trying to pull the lightsaber on Darth Vader. I mean, you can. I mean, we have seen ByuN die to Reapers before, but I should have emphasized as well that ByuN, specifically, we were a little bit distracted talking about up-and-coming players at the time, but ByuN, he went for a double gas opener. That means that he had a faster factory, so he had an easier defense and a stronger counterattack. If ByuN went for a Rax Expand, then ByuN could have been caught out, but he, like, blindly, he went for a safer build. So it was just a really rough build to go up against. But here we go, spawning in the right-hand corner of Sanctuary 3. We have the South Korean Terran player down in the series. Can he bounce back and force the ace match? It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself. Also from South Korea representing Shopify, it is ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. As we are going to be opening up this time, no proxy. This time there is no proxy. We have the racks back at home for Percival. going for a much more tame response, and welcome to Sanctuary 3. Sanctuary 3, likewise, is one of the more quote-unquote standard maps, but there are some interesting features to the map itself. I mentioned earlier that we have added these slow zones in the center. There's also a choke point here as well. Does kind of deter and dissuade early game pushes and early game aggression. As a result, I want to say there's a higher chance that we experience the mid game here on Sanctuary 3, but at the same time, I also understand how aggressive we can be as Percival moves out with an SCV scout. Ooh, okay. It's quite rare to see this. SCV scouts are very uncommon in TBT, but Percival, I think he's just afraid of a proxy. I don't blame him, right? Like, ByuN just defended against a proxy 2 Rax. There's a high chance he goes for a proxy himself, and Percival will confirm that there is no proxy. Yep, checks the low ground, single gas opener, Rax expand. ByuN is going for an economic start, CC on the high ground. Meanwhile, Percival, being a little bit greedier, CC on the low ground instead. I mean, there's a give and take here. Percival, he can enjoy a faster command center on location, but Percival also has one worker that isn't mining. And remember, ByuN did an SCV scout, so he has one extra worker mining instead. So there's a bit of a give and take here. Fun fact, if Percival had gone for a proxy 2x Reaper this game, he would have had more success because ByuN has a later factory. And you can see ByuN scouting. He's checking just in case. Does check the third location, both third locations. If ByuN were to scout a proxy, then he'd respond with a bunker. He'd respond with a bunker and set up on the high ground. But now we're calming down. We're building up. Overall, I would say a slight advantage here for Percival, as it does take a while for the CC to flow down to location. Hello, Percival, as he's rushing into a third CC before the factory's even done. A hyper greed out of Percival. Doesn't just have the low ground expansion, but goes straight into the third CC once again. Oh boy, we saw this in game 2 if you recall. We saw this in game 2 and ByuN did punish it last time. We'll see if ByuN can punish it again. So first things first, ByuN has to realize what's going on. Currently he's in the dark. ByuN does have some Reaper Hellion to scout to get across the map. Yeah, Medevac is on the way for his drop. Percival is going to have the bare minimum to defend. He's going to have the bare minimum. ByuN is still amassing. And soon will move out. And can Percival get away with it? Can he get away with the third CC? For now, Percival is fanning out his units, trying to scout. We got to be careful of these slow zones, so that they don't impact a fight. Speaking of, ByuN, he does catch the army. Zoning him away towards the right hand side. He's going to be zoned away. Cyclone does give chase. Drop into the main. Cyclone does kite away. Does pull back. ByuN dropping into the mineral line. Ooh, and the Cyclone will get caught out. So yeah, massive pick over the Cyclone will fall. Trading against Hellions at the same time, drop into the mineral line. We're getting some SCVs. Gets a mule. Gets a mule, gets 3 SCV kills. Just further in. At the same time, tank is in position. Yeah, the tank is ready. Ooh, massive tank shots. Drop back into the mineral line. 8 SCVs is getting in hand. It's getting out of hand here. Do we pick up? He does. Does he scout the main? He will. Yeah, he does scout the main base. Does confirm the third. Third CC. He knows. Yeah, it's now where the greed of his opponents. So far, I mean, he's already dealt 9 SCVs, 9 workers worth of damage. Nice harass here by ByuN. He defends well. And ByuN only now begins a third base. Again, you can see how greedy Percival was in comparison, but he's been punished for that greed. ByuN is currently ahead economically, and it's going to be on ByuN to try to apply pressure to the would-be third base. ByuN is currently ahead, but soon Percival can land that third. ByuN does race back home. He's racing back, looking at our armies here. ByuN is up in tanks, so he's up in tanks, up in Liberators. He does have the medevac advantage as well. What does Percival have? Ravens. We have 3 Ravens back at home, and I believe Interference Matrix was researched. So even though Percival has a lower tank count, with all these disables available, he can still make up for that. And I do like this. So Percival is pushing, and he needs to, right? He's going to be trying to apply as much pressure as possible to get away with the expansion. So he's expanding. Ideally, he wants to keep ByuN pinned back at home. ByuN going for his own counter drop back at home. There's nothing here at the natural. Ooh. Yeah, you can see that Percival, he rallies everything across the map. The drop comes in. Drop does come back in. Cyclone turns around. And we do deny mining. No major damage. Getting 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's getting. Oh no! He goes back in too soon. 8, 9, 10 SCVs. Critical damage. Critical damage. 13, 14 SCV kills. 15. A full mineral line goes down to a single marine drop. Oh no. 17. 17 workers. Ay. Liberated to the main base as well. Critical damage. Percival, he does have some auto start harass into the mineral lines. He can do something. But Percival has been crippled. He's been crippled. That one Liberator is still going ham, getting 19 SCVs. Raven harass denies mining but doesn't kill anything. Moving back down. Oh. We'll get one. Not even. No shot. And at this point, Percival, he's pretty all in. He's all in. You can see he's rallying everything. He's rallying everything. The goal here is to break the siege line. Remember, these Ravens, they can still disable. And they will. We're holding on to those disables, the interference matrix. ByuN drops across the map. He gets called out. Does try to boost away, and oh, he will lose a full medevac. Massive loss there for ByuN. But Percival turns around. Oh, I think he could have done it. I think he could have disabled every single tank and pushed up this ramp. He had the energy for it, but Percival turns back around to do this one drop. Ay. Look at the army supply. Again, Percival, the supplies are close, but Percival, he has 63 army supply to 49, right? Including a lot of the supply dedicated to this drop. Percival, we could have broken through. No. There was a chance. But he does race back home. ByuN breaks out, claims his own third. And now we're getting to a longer game. Oof. And from here, ByuN is gaining map control. He's gaining map control. He should be able to snipe that cyclone. Ooh, late to react. Late. The cyclone! Ooh, the cyclone goes down. Yeah, late reaction by ByuN. Does have a late reaction. Massive loss. Just does try to punish. Does attempt to trade. Okay, does somewhat trade here. ByuN is breaking out. Remember, ByuN still maintains a higher tank count. It's Percival with a higher Raven count instead. And he still has those Ravens. Like, they're full of energy. He still has all those Ravens. ByuN, he's not going for any Viking production. It's purely Marine tank. The goal would be to stim in and to focus on the Ravens. Percival sims. Here are the disables. Gets 4. Yeah, 4 disables. And still has auto starts remaining. Yeah, he sims in, diving on the tanks, but there's still 1 tank left. Sorry, 2. Yeah, there's still 2 tanks remaining here. They shell away at the army. ByuN takes a bit of fight. Still maintains his tank count. And ByuN is rallying. Yeah, ByuN is rallying across. Oof. We'll lose 1 tank. CC is going to be denied. And the Ravens, how much energy do we have left? Not much. Yeah, there's not much energy. We have, what, 2 disables? Soon to be? Right now, none? Sorry, 1. There's 1, soon to be 2 disables. Ooh, we just bait the army in. Massive tank shots. ByuN still rallying. And Percival has been in trouble for quite some time. And there was an opportunity, right? There was opportunity earlier. The tank survives. Percival going for a desperation counterattack. He's got, what, 8 Marines across the map? Sorry, 9. Iron Marines across. Stepping into the mineral line. ByuN, he can respond. Bleeds out a couple of SCVs. Dropping into the main. ByuN is keeping up. Yeah, ByuN keeps out. Oh, he does catch one of the Medivacs. He gets both. Oh, God. Catches both Medivacs, still maintaining this position. And ByuN, he's snowballing out of control. At this point, snowballing out of control. There's less and less opportunities here for Percival to recover in this game. ByuN is now maxed. He's now moving in. Does siege. Liberators, they hold the line. ByuN just going for a Dream Drop. It's a little bit risky here, but there are 3 Vikings in position, turrets as well. Yeah, the scan notices. The scan does notice, as take note of the fact that there are Medivacs missing. Ooh, 1 full Medivac goes down. And has another Medivac falls as well, even disabling, ensuring there's no drops. For Marines, they still get in. Yeah, he gets in. It's still going to be a rough trade, though. Picking off 2, 3 tanks, but that's a lot of Marines being thrown away. ByuN stims in, he finds on siege tanks. No, he gets all of them. There's 4 tanks here on the low ground, and he gets 2. Yeah, takes out 2 tanks, can now focus on the CC. He's stimming forward. These tanks, they're naked, they're exposed. Gets another 3 tanks. 5 kills in total, 5 tanks going down. Now just goes to the kill. GG gets called, and ByuN will claim the series 3-1, claiming the win here and becoming this week's PiGosaur Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ByuN will snowball out of control. He will claim the win here. Congratulations. Shout out to Percival, because again, I can see a world where this could have gone to the ace match. I'm still thinking about that moment where ByuN, he was stuck on 2 bases. He had a smaller army. Percival, he was sieged outside of the natural, and he still had 3 ravens full of energy. And I was looking and I was like, hey, it's only tanks to defend. We can disable every single tank and push up the ramp and just kill. We can straight up just end the game here and now. ByuN went for a double drop at the same time. He even lost a full medevac, if you recall. He only had 1 drop across the map, and that 1 drop scared Percival enough to turn around. Percival, maybe he thought there was more than just 1 drop. Maybe he got scared, he got tentative, he turned around, he did not push up the ramp, and as a result, ByuN was able to stabilize. Like, ByuN, he was otherwise going to be in a rough position there. He was down in army, down in supplies, stuck on 2 bases, very little to work with to defend his natural, but Percival didn't recognize that. Didn't spot it, didn't recognize it, did not move up the ramp, and ByuN stabilized, and then ByuN snowballed from there with a stronger economy. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he was able to get across the map, and again, the drop play was impeccable from ByuN, right? He was killing so many SCVs. It was that 1 drop that killed, what was it? 17 SCVs? It was like 17 SCV kills at the natural. It was insane damage. I mean, it was a drop plus Liberator into the main, if you remember. It was crazy damage. I think that was just before Percival was committing, or had the option to commit up into the main or into the natural. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. ByuN, he will claim the series. Shout out to Percival for making a series out of it, of course, for posing a threat and to being our challenger this week. Congrats. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are going to be wrapping up here for the morning, and we have plenty more on the horizon. Let's go. Let's catch up on our schedule here. Let us catch up. Okay, from the top, as you can see, we just wrapped up with our Wednesday morning broadcast of PiGosaur Cup. This evening we're going to be live with Kung Fu Cup. Kung Fu Cup is going to be this evening, featuring players like Hero, Classic, ByuN, Clem, Max, the best of the best are going to be facing off in Kung Fu Cup. Tomorrow morning we will not be casting the WarDTV Monday. If you remember, the reason why we didn't cast the WarDTV Monday on Monday was because of GSL. We were live casting the GSL qualifiers. Fun fact, we were the only English casters for the GSL qualifiers as well. And we will be rebroadcasting that on YouTube and Twitch. So we're going to have some rebroadcasts of the GSO qualifiers on tomorrow morning in less than 24 hours. So if you miss them live, then you can check them out here, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitch. Likewise, we have the podcast tomorrow evening. There's a lot to catch up on there in regards to the podcast with the StarCraft Evolution patch notes and with some of the other podcasts as well. We have Amantes of StarCraft on Friday. We have RSL over the weekend, and we have the GSL finals this weekend as well on Sunday, which are also going to be live casting, and we have KSL on Saturday. So a very intense schedule as always here with RSL, with GSL. Masters of the Game was announced throughout the end of the month. I'm still on the fence about whether or not we should cast it. we did cast the previous Masters of the game live. We did cast like the group stage, the playoffs, everything live. But this time it is clashing with the Thermal 2-2 circuit. And for those who don't know, we run the event. We run the 2-2 circuit. We admin it. So we might not be able to cast Masters of the game. Maybe we'll get the replays to do a replay cast later. And it is a big major event. It's a big premier tournament. I would love to cover it as God, papi, Enki, ya terminamos, papi, ya terminamos. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid, Enki. Gracias, gracias. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Enki. But we are gonna be wrapping up. But yeah, so Master of the Game is going to be clashing with the Thermal Circuit, so I'm still on the fence whether or not we're going to cast it, but regardless, it is still a very busy month and there's plenty going on. RSL, GSL, Maestros, all the regular weeklies. Enki, gracias, papi, gracias. Enki, el hermoso, papi, el hermoso. See you, bro, see you. Buenas noches, pa, buenas noches. With that, we're going to be wrapping up. Again, we're going to be live this evening with Kung Fu Cup. That's going to be later on in around, like 7 hours? No, 6. 6 hours time. 6 hours time. We should be live with Kung Fu Cup. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. That's it. What? Pacheca. Papi, guys. Gracias. Thank you so much for the raid. Gracias. Oh my god. Ya estamos terminando. You're both crazy. Pacheca, Enki. Obrigado. ¿Qué tenemos para hoy? I mean, we just casted PiGosaur Cup. We just casted. Much love. Less than three. But thank you so much for the raid. We're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. We'll be back later on tonight in around 6 hours time with Kung Fu Cup. We'll see you next time. Hasta luego. Until next time. Until then, gracias. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. You can support us via Patreon. You can check us out on YouTube. If you see something that you like here, if you want to watch Amantes, if you want to watch Kung Fu Cup or Tuna Cup or PiGosaur Cup, RSL, GSL, KSL, it's all over on our YouTube. So check us out over on YouTube. Otherwise, we're going to be heading off. Hasta luego. Aquí voy a dormir, papi. Vamos a mimir. Pero until next time. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi. Ciao. Hasta luego.